All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the eventual start for the 10th season of the Walking Dead television series. This one will be some updates, recent news we've got in the last week or so surrounding the Walking Dead original canon series for season 10, and also us giving our thoughts on how we think Michonne's leave is going to affect the series. Alright, impossible spoiler warning if you are not caught up for the Walking Dead television series. So I definitely wanted to do a Walking Dead video. I want to do these every so often. Of course, we're getting closer to the eventual release for the trailer for the Walking Dead Season 10, which will be coming out in about a month from now in July. So look forward to that in a month. And we'll get to see all the new, trailers and a lot of info from Comic-Con about the next season of The Walking Dead with Season 10. So definitely going to be doing a lot more videos for the original Walking Dead series coming up here pretty soon in the next month. But for now, of course, Fear the Walking Dead is on, and so we'll be focusing on that a lot. And then, of course, Stranger Things is going to be hitting pretty soon, so we'll do some videos for that as well soon. But we do have some new updates for stuff relating to the original Walking Dead series. We kind of have confirmation now, or sort of confirmation, that yes, in fact, Denai Guerrero, who played Michonne, is going to be leaving in the Walking Dead Season 10. So we kind of already knew this, but it's kind of been sort of confirmed at this point, I want to say. I mean, nothing is 100% until we actually see the episodes. I mean, just look back to last season with Rick, and when we got the news around this time that Andrew Lincoln was going to leave. Now we have the news confirmed that, yes, Michonne is going to leave, and so we're going to see this in Season 10. So how is that going to affect the series? I want to see your comments below from you guys now that it's been basically confirmed. Will it negatively impact the series without having Michonne there? For me personally, the way I think of this one is it's kind of like it's just another hit for the series where you take another one of those key members kind of out of the show, and that's unfortunate to see because we've already lost Rick last season. We'll get him back in the movies, which is great. Maggie may be returning this year, maybe not. It's not confirmed 100% because we just don't know until we get some news about that. We haven't had anything for that lately, aside from the fact that Whiskey Cavalier has been canceled and will not get a second season. We all assume that she'll be coming back in Season 10 then, but we'll see. She probably will be. But without having Michonne there, I mean, it's going to be strange, right? Because you have Judith, who I would think will probably stay behind in the original Walking Dead television series. I don't think she's going to cross into the movies with Michonne and with Rick. So I tend to think that she'll probably be left behind. Maybe Michonne will explain it like it's too dangerous. The journey is too long. It's too dangerous. You need to stay here where you're safe. On the road is just, there's too many things that can go wrong. RJ is a tough one too, right? That's going to be difficult for Michonne to leave and leave her kids behind. But a lot of people think, and there's a theory that maybe Gabriel will tell her what Jadis told him about this helicopter group that was taking people and this kind of thing. Michonne will get all mad at him, maybe beat him up a little bit, and then realize that she needs to leave to go find Rick because he's probably out there somewhere and needs her help. But it's going to be dangerous, so she can't bring the kids with her. So I like those theories. I like those ideas, and I think we'll probably see something like that in The Walking Dead Season 10 when it eventually gets released. So to answer the question, is it going to hurt the series that Michonne leaves? I think a little bit, but I don't think it'll be very significant. It's just another person who's going to be gone. She's been in the series for a long time. She premiered in the finale for Season 2. She started in Season 3 with the actress. The finale in Season 2, I don't even think that was Denai Guerrero in the when you just see her appear at the end, her first kind of appearance for Andrea. I'm thinking back, going off the top of my head here, right? That's pretty good memory, right? Season 2's finale. Andrea gets saved by Michonne in her first appearance. Not even Denai Guerrero at that point. I don't think she was even cast yet. So they must have had just somebody wear it, and you can't see their face anyway. And then we see Season 3 with Michonne appearing, and it's awesome and everything. So she's been in the series forever, and it'll be cool to see her in the movies. So it's not like she's going to be killed off likely. She'll be in the movies, and she'll likely find Rick at some point. So it's going to be worth it, and it's going to be good. But it's just another person who's not going to be there. And so a little bit, but she's been there a long time already anyway, so it gives other people a chance for them to build up other characters and to see some other stuff with others. Negan might be big, right? Having Negan there, hopefully JDM is good for a few more years because they could really use him. Daryl can't do it all, and Carol can't do it all. It's good to have some of those older characters around here and there for scenes and stuff, just to make the scenes matter and make people care. So those are my thoughts on that one. The series is going to continue to shoot in film. So it's going to continue to shoot similarly with the way it has, obviously, since 2010. We're going on 10 years here in 2020 next year. Technology has gotten a lot better. We have, 4K everywhere, and, this kind of stuff's coming out. You can buy a camera with 4K nowadays for, cheap, right? Like less than $1,000, you could get a really good, 4K camera. The Walking Dead TV series, they're going to continue to use kind of that old school film look to keep it looking familiar. Link will be in the description if you want to read about it. Angela Kang has confirmed that it's gonna be. They'll probably improve it somewhat, I think, but they probably want to keep it similar to how the series was earlier on, so it feels you can watch the whole thing through, and the quality of it looks pretty similar. Like it's not so drastically crazy improved versus the earlier stuff. I imagine it will be a little bit, but it's going to continue to shoot and film to keep that kind of look, so it'll be somewhat familiar. So we got that news. And then unfortunately, the Walker Stalker cons, it sounds like, are having some trouble. I personally have never been to one, which is unfortunate because I would have liked to have gone to one. I know a lot of you guys go, and that would have been cool to see. Unfortunately for me, I'm here every year making videos and doing that stuff, going to my job and stuff like that. I just don't have time to kind of get away to be able to do that. But it would have been cool to go to at least one of them because, I'm not sure how much longer they're going to be around for. Some of the stars, link will be in the description for some of the different stars that were going to it that are kind of, backing out or they're not going to be going anymore. Maybe they're not backing out, but it's just the deal isn't working anymore. Maybe they can't pay them enough or something to make it worth their while, or they can hardly pay them or something. I'm not sure, but of course, the demand for Walking Dead has gone down, multiples, right? It's gone from 15 million or so for some of their big episodes to like 5. So your audience for The Walking Dead has gone down. Now, the internet can account for some of it, but it is way down. The Telltale game series, for example, it's luckily, Skybound was able to step in and save that so they could finish it. But, definitely demand for The Walking Dead has gone down, so Walker Stalker Con is having trouble. You can read through the article if you want to hear more details, but certain, a lot of the more high-profile characters or high-profile cast, they may decide it's not worth their time to go, or whatever's going on there, if they haven't been paid or they're behind or whatever. You can read through it yourself if you want to know and speculate, but the big takeaway is Walker Stalker Con, not sure how many more years they're going to be able to do that for, if they're going to be able to do it going forward consistently. Not sure, which guests they're going to be able to get and people from the shows. So we'll see. So just a heads up for that. If you're going to one this year or maybe next year, just to kind of do your research and verify. I wouldn't want you guys to go thinking a certain, like Ezekiel or somebody's going to be there, and then you go, Kari Payton, and they're not there or something, right? So keep up to date with it if you're going to go to one. Heads up, because not sure of the future for that. Because obviously it's something that's based so heavily off The Walking Dead, and with The Walking Dead not as popular as it was before, because it's been on many years and everything. I think it's natural. It happens to everything. Anything you do for a decade, after a decade, in entertainment, it's not going to be as hot as it once was, probably. It's kind of natural, right? So, just a heads up for that, and just kind of an update for that stuff. I think that's most of the stuff. There have been some articles about speculation that maybe Samantha Morton, of course, who plays Alpha, might win an Emmy, because I don't think any of the cast or crew has won. Some of the crew, I shouldn't say crew, because they've won Emmys and stuff like that for, I think, makeup, and then Greg Nicotero's team, and those, people for the effects and stuff have won awards. But I don't think any of the actors have actually won Emmy awards for The Walking Dead, even up until now. I don't think even one of them. So they were speculating that because she's been nominated for some Oscars before, a couple, it looks like, that maybe she'll win for Alpha and The Walking Dead win the Emmy. So that'd be cool, but I mean, it's just an absolute tragedy that Andrew Lincoln has never won an Emmy for his, especially with season 9 being his last year in the TV series. Man, he should win an Emmy for Rick. I mean, it's absolutely criminal to me that he hasn't. It's unbelievable. I think Chandler Riggs has said this before too, that that he definitely should have. And I couldn't agree more with him. It is criminal that I'd be happy for Samantha Morton if she did win an Emmy, but it's just criminal that Andrew Lincoln never did. I mean, that's just crazy. For all the seasons he did in The Walking Dead, it became one of the biggest TV series of all time. Maybe by viewership, the biggest drama series ever for a cable drama. If you total all the views for all the episodes, I would think it probably is the highest viewed drama series ever with that many seasons or something. But I don't know. It depends on how you look at the stats, and certain series maybe run longer, 20, 30 years or something, maybe have more. But The Walking Dead has just done, it's such a huge success. It could not have done it if Andrew Lincoln wasn't so awesome. If he didn't sell those scenes and he wasn't so into it like that, and Norman Reedus and Melissa McBride and everybody else, Denai, and everybody who's been in the series, if they didn't do such a good job to where we believed it, to where we got into it, and we experienced it, and we bought into it as this is a real universe, and and Daryl's feeling guilty, so he takes a cigarette, he does this because of Beth. Like we have to feel like it's legitimate, and I think the cast for The Walking Dead has always done an amazing job with their performances. There's very few times throughout the series that I wasn't totally invested thinking that this is real, this is legit. There's only, maybe a couple times where there's certain episodes that maybe don't feel that way, but most of which I'm totally immersed in the experience, accepting it as a universe in and of itself. And if it wasn't for the performances that the cast do, we wouldn't feel that way. So I hope she does win, but I'd also would like to see, Andrew Lincoln, Norman Reedus, Melissa McBride, some of the others too, should have won an Emmy at this point, at some point, for The Walking. It's kind of just, they always get snubbed. It's unfortunate. So, yeah, we'll do a couple comments or questions for today's Q&A for the original Walking Dead series, not Fear stuff. SlinkyM says, I'm sure Lauren would be so happy to know you guys are celebrating her quote-unquote failure for Whiskey Cavalier. So I did a video on that a little while ago. That's one of the comments from it. We're not really celebrating the fact that Whiskey Cavalier, we're not malicious in it. We're not trying to celebrate the fact that it got canceled, because there are fans of the series and everything like that. What we're doing is, we recognize that The Walking Dead is losing stars. They're losing people. And we lose people, and then I lose myself, right? They lose people, and then they lose the series. No, let's not go full Morgan on it. But, we're not going to clear. But basically, you need some, right? As you have people going, it would be very helpful for The Walking Dead as a whole, for the original series, if Maggie was to come back. So it wouldn't just be, because in that instance, with Rick being gone and Michonne being gone, and all the deaths over the years and everything, it would be really good if she was in the series still, with Glenn and what happened with that. So we're kind of celebrating because it means that The Walking Dead can be better than it would be. Because I actually think that with Maggie in the series will be better than without, probably. I mean, it'd probably be better with Rick in it, too, if they're able to somehow keep Rick, right? And some of the others, too. So these are very important characters. I think Maggie is one of the most important characters in the series. And so that's kind of what we're celebrating, is the possibility that she could come back. It's not that I'm upset. If she could do both series, for example, I would be just as happy. I'm not maliciously excited because Whiskey Cavalier got canceled. I'm excited because what it means is that it didn't get a second season. It didn't really get canceled. It just didn't get renewed or get a second year. What we're really celebrating is the possibility that we could get Maggie back in The Walking Dead, because we're Walking Dead fans, and so that's what we want to see. So, so I hope that makes sense. It's not, we're not doing it in some kind of malicious way, or that we hate Whiskey Cavalier or something like that. That's not really what it's all about. It's just that we want the best for the Walking Dead series, because that's what we're huge fans of, more so than other new series. Toxik Blackrain says, no, I think it would have been better to put the Rick stuff in Fear to force people into watching it. I would have Rick found on Fear and keep him on the show for a while as a crossover. So you want to cross Rick over to Fear the Walking Dead. You want to piss people off. I mean, you already did Dwight and Morgan. If you crossed Rick over into Fear the Walking Dead, people would be so pissed it would be unbelievable. Create Till Death says, killing Morgan in this show for the video yesterday we did for Fear. I guess this one's sort of Fear, but Morgan's the original Walking Dead OG character rather than the original show would be an epic mistake, and the producers or writers have to know that. Yeah, that's true too, that it would be kind of disappointing if Morgan was killed off in Fear the Walking Dead, but if Lenny James at some point decides he's had enough, or they decide they want to do that to totally throw everybody through a loop and have a huge shocker, because they kind of did that with Madison, so I'm not feeling 100% comfortable that Morgan is safe on Fear. Like, I'm not sitting here saying, like, they couldn't kill him off. Especially after the scene in the door. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I really hope they don't. Because I'd like to even see him maybe return to the original Walking Dead series if Fear gets canceled. He could be somebody that could be in the original Walking Dead for years to come. I don't know if it's quite, in terms of the entertainment value, if Peaceful Morgan is that entertaining, but maybe you bring a little bit of those clear elements back in, and it could be cool to see. Plus, if this is season 10, then that means Daryl and Carol only signed on, I think, till season 13. So that's just a few more years. Well, okay, is it 12 or 13? Something like that. Like 3 or 4 more years. I think it was 3 years after this one. So maybe it's 12 or up to 13 or so. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the reports to see exactly. But it's only a few more years. If Lenny James was able to hang in there for a few more years, it might be a very good decision for him. Also, he'd get work consistently. That is, if they don't kill him off at some point. And the last one will be from Maria. Eduardo says, the problem with the helicopter group being the Commonwealth is that the helicopter group is an original Scott Gimple idea. Plus, we have the movies and the show that's sure that we will have the Commonwealth maybe season 11. But I understand your point about it could be part of the Commonwealth, but at the same time not. Yeah, we have to see what they do. It's only the Boromir rings that made me think Commonwealth, because that's like the perfect symbol to represent Commonwealth. What it means is that basically if one of them fail, they all fail. So they're relying on each other as common groups that are coming together in Commonwealth to trade and to support each other. But you could be right. Maybe that's not what it means. Maybe the Boromir rings don't mean that for the Commonwealth. It means that for some other helicopter group, which has nothing to do with Georgie, is unaffiliated and disconnected from that, and it's completely different. It's just that the suits look a lot like the Commonwealth in the comics, only they're black instead of white, and they're white in the comics. And they're good guys in the comics. So, you switch it, dark side type of thing. The Sith of the Walking Dead, you have the Dr. Frankenstein in the lab and them grabbing people for them to test on and stuff. I mean, it's got to be a villainous group or a villainous section of a greater Commonwealth. Either way, doesn't really matter. It's just naming, I guess, at that point. Semantically, it's like whatever. Whether it's a section of this that's rotten or it's a separate group entirely. Either way, that's fine. Doesn't really matter. Most likely, Rick has been taken by a villain type of group, and they're going to help him and help him heal back to health, only to use him for some kind of purpose, maybe a slave type of deal or testing and things like that. So we'll see how it all works out. But I am very happy with the helicopter idea. It's brilliant how he worked that in, because Morales said to have called him Helicopter Boy at the very beginning of the series. So it's kind of almost, sometimes I get jealous because it's like he's so smart he was able to write in this later on that actually fits back to the beginning to have it all sync up for Rick that he becomes Helicopter Boy, and that it's almost the way he did it, it becomes foreshadowing for the beginning of the series. Like the beginning of the series, that becomes him seeing the helicopter and him being called Helicopter Boy. That is like foreshadowing because of what they did in season 9 to sync it up. So whoever's idea it was to do helicopter, whether it was Gimple's, whether it was somebody else there, Angela Kang or whoever's idea it was, freaking brilliant, man, because it becomes foreshadowing then that later he would be the Helicopter Boy and be taken off in a helicopter. That is so brilliant. It's unbelievable. Brilliant, whoever thought of that. Anyway, let's end the video on that one there. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know what you think about the Michonne situation. Is it going to hurt the series that much? And how you're feeling about everything with Fear and all the recent stuff for Walking Dead. That's basically all the new stuff there's been for a little while. If you like the video, please thumb it up below. Subscribe at the bottom left. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev. Say peace. Later, guys. See you soon.